let's get into the ultimatum now, right? It seems like this is the number one show that everybody wants to talk about in this moment because it really has been a cluster. Fuck, hasn't it? So there were originally 6 couples where the at least one member of the couple proposed an ultimatum to the other saying we have to get married or we have to leave each other because I am not continuing on in this relationship that seems to be going nowhere, not advancing or anything like that. Great. That's how it happens every single season, right? But unfortunately, something that was different this season from the past seasons was that 2 of the couples just all but disappeared. There was Micah and his girlfriend. And I do have to ask you guys, what is the name of Micah's girlfriend, y'all? She's up there in the 2-piece burgundy outfit. What is her name? And then there was David and Vanessa, who were also a couple. And I want to know as well, why do you guys think these people just randomly disappeared? So there have been some hints online that Nick's behavior was really like off-putting or just really alarming to Vanessa. She spoke to her boyfriend Dave about it, and then they left for that reason. Other people have speculated that he was insecure or that Micah or his girlfriend were insecure, and that was something that went down. Like, so far there hasn't been any real confirmation about what really went down, but it did kind of sour the rest of the show. Okay, like it just really did not feel like something that was going to be as dramatic or as interesting as past seasons because we were missing half the people and 2 people were left all alone. Just very, very weird vibes all the way around. Now, I do have to ask you, so this is in line with a comment or a question that I got in the chat from Ams. Ams was asking if I recognized Zaina as Cheyenne Floyd's friend from Teen Mom 2. The answer is yes, I did. Okay. And now this is why I do not understand or do not believe that she and JR are in a real relationship. Okay. Because all these years we have seen Zaina pop up on Teen Mom 2 with Cheyenne. There have been many parties, many events where people bring a date, right? Including to Cheyenne's own wedding. Was JR brought as a date? I don't remember seeing him. Was JR brought as a date when they went to the housewarming, when, Cheyenne did that other party while she was like dating Zach and she dumped him for that other guy who was like a wannabe rapper? I don't remember. And she claims she's been with this man for several years. This is clearly someone who's not shy about being on camera either, or who would at least be okay with, this is clearly someone who would at least be okay with being shown in the background, and yet we never saw him. There's no chemistry between the 2 of them. So I gotta say, I do not believe that this is a legitimate couple. I don't. Here's what I think happened between them. I think that, and because yesterday I was looking through Zaina's Instagram profile, I think that she wants to be a fitness influencer. You know how on Love is Blind we had Raven, the fitness influencer? I think she wants to be Zaina, the fitness influencer for the ultimatum. And I know that JR is really into fitness as well. And he posts a lot about fitness and whatnot. And he might want to be a fitness influencer as well. So here's what I guess. It's just a hypothesis based on the lack of chemistry between these 2 people. I think they met at the gym. And then they decided to go ahead. Maybe they hooked up once. Maybe they hooked up twice. Maybe it was a full thing. Maybe it was just the tip. I don't know. But I think that they had kind of like a little flingy fling thing going. And they knew that they were not meant for each other. But they decided to go ahead and pull the wool over our eyes by staging this fake relationship on the ultimatum. Zaina already knew that she would be casted because she was already like TV adjacent through her regular appearing roles on Teen Mom Next Chapter, and she needed someone to come along with her. And so she chose to have JR as her guy. But that guy, he couldn't even pretend or he really could not even sell the relationship at all based on the way he was acting with Sandy. Like he has never, he was single. He just had not touched a woman in 30 years or something. It was not adding up. By the way, I do want to thank Clara and Shai for letting me know that the mystery girl's name is Chanel. So her name is Chanel, the one in the brown 2-piece up there. Her name is Chanel. I don't know why I forgot her name. Well, I do know why. It's because she never really said much of anything, and she disappeared a couple episodes in. So I do want to know, you guys, this is a mic check for sure. So feel free to let me know in the chat or if you are part of my playback posse, feel free to let me know in the comments. But do you believe that JR and Zaina are a real couple, or do you think that they're pulling the wool over our eyes? Now, let's get into another person who is very, very interesting to me here. And this is not a good thing. Scotty. Scotty at first had me fooled. When he first got paired with Zaina, I thought he was a nice, chill, normal guy. But then as the episodes progressed, I went, oh, wait a minute. This guy is volatile. This guy is emotionally dangerous. And he might even be physically dangerous. I am getting aspiring wife beater vibes from him. The way he would stare her down like this. Here's my thing. I cannot stand men who will never buck up to another man because they're all scrawny and this and that, and they know that the next man would break their jaw, so they don't try it with them. Remember when he was confronting JR at that kind of mixer that the guys were having together exclusively? And JR was like, oh, did you say this about me? This rumor that I'm just here for attention or a hall pass or whatever. All Scotty said was, no, that wasn't me. And he didn't really get into it. Okay. But when he gets back home to Zaina, a woman, what happens? He starts staring at her like he's about to whoop her ass. He's like a leopard hiding in the grass, about to leap out and pounce on you. That's how he's staring at her. He's like, did you say this to JR? I'm always seeing you on your phone in the middle of the night. Are you talking to JR? Telling him that I think he's here for a hall pass? And he just stares at her in a way that is so violent and aggressive, and it's freaky. And I'm like, well, you were just in JR's face. Where was this energy? Where was this energy? And why is it reserved for a woman in a beautiful dress? Because you want to intimidate her. You cannot intimidate JR. JR is too big. JR, one little swift motion of his pinky, and you're on the ground. So you know what you do? You take that energy that, oh, I feel emasculated. I feel like a weak ass B energy. And you come home and you take it out on your wife. And that's what I call an aspiring wife beater. Do not like him. I think he's very dangerous. And, the fact that they worked through that, Zaina really diffused the situation and everything like that, and they seem to advance. But he is someone who really gets off on making women uncomfortable and pushing them to their breaking point. And spoiler alert, by the way, you guys, if you're not fully caught up on all the episodes, I do implore you to watch the full thing before continuing with this, because there will be spoilers. I will even tell you how the latest batch of episodes drop. Okay, so just a little heads up there. So yeah, it's just, and then she works through it. She diffuses the situation, and then everything's going fine. And then out of nowhere, he picks another fight with her, and he just keeps picking at her and picking at her and picking at her and picking at her and pushing her. She says, okay, I want to get away from this. I'm not feeling great. It feels like too much. She's like, yeah, then you walk away if you feel that way. Then you walk away. It's you are not okay, sir. You are weird. And the hostility that you feel towards women, this to me is a guy similar to James Kennedy from VPR. Do you remember in was it a morning report? No, it was my breaking news story that I did. I went live to talk about James Kennedy and how he has repeatedly been accused of violence against women, and how if you've watched VPR over the years, then you would know that this man hates women. There is a secret that he is harboring within himself. There's something about himself that he is not accepting. And I guess he feels pushed and forced by society to have a solid relationship with women, or a long-term relationship with women, even though he does not like us. And that is evident in the way that he speaks to women. It is evident in the way that he speaks about women. And it is just evident, it's written all over his face. I get that vibe from Scotty as well. Scotty, there's something about you that you do not like. There's something about you that you do not accept, that you reject. And you take that out on women. The way you look at women, that stare, that disgusting, intimidating, I'm going to beat you up stare that you do to women. Do you recognize that stare he does? It's not okay. And to me, this is indicative of someone who just does not like women. Okay. And so I really don't like him. I think he's scary. I'm not a fan. So, and again, listen, I will own it that he had me fooled at first. At first, I thought he was a nice, chill, quiet guy who just wanted to get married to this beautiful girl. And that was that. But the more I see of him, the less enthused I am. Okay. Now, I did ask earlier in a mic check whether or not you guys believe that Zaina and JR were a real couple. And Jaleesa says that Zaina's relationship is fake. I've seen her numerous times on Shai's podcast, and she's never, ever once mentioned a partner or anything. In her most recent episode, she was talking about freezing eggs. Listen, I believe you. I tried to listen to Cheyenne's podcast, to get that tea, the way that I suffer through Kale's podcast. But Cheyenne's voice is just too much for me, y'all. It is not a podcasting voice. So bless you, Jaleesa, for being able to listen, first of all. But here's the thing, is she's been in a relationship with this man for several years, 3 years specifically, and she wants to marry this guy. Why wouldn't this have come up? Why wouldn't we have seen him, as her date to anything in the past, shows that we've watched her on over the years? Hi, HBNK, your photo's adorable of that doggy. In the argument with Arya at the bar, I felt he was abusive. I agree. He gets off on wanting to break women down. He wants you to cry. He wants you to feel trapped. He wants you to feel étouffé, suffocated by him, and just the way, like, his barrage. He goes on a barrage. Even like you see it with both Arya and Zaina, they react the same way, right? Where they say, listen, I don't like where this is going. I want to walk away. And instead of just being like, okay, walk away, let's get space, he's going to continue with his barrage. He's going to continue to harass and intimidate you and demean you and to verbally degrade you and abuse you. He's going to say, oh, yeah, well, that's all you do. You're such a this, that. Yeah, you walk away, you walking away, ass bit. Like, he's like that. And it's so toxic. It's so disturbing. If you were in a relationship with someone who speaks to you this way, just know that it is not okay. It is a red flag. And if he looks at you the way that this man looks at women, just know he's thinking about popping you upside the head, because that is not a normal way to look at people. Okay. It is not a normal way to look at people. It's weird. I do not like him. I don't. So I did get a question here from someone. I'm trying to find it. And it was so funny because this is something that I was kind of wondering. It's from K-Talks. Thank you so much for the question, K-Talks. K-Talks was asking me, do you think that Sandy is just Nick's sugar baby? Listen, K-Talks, well, I've been wondering that myself. I said, I hope you're his sugar baby, because otherwise I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't. And I think that that's why she's so flippant about the reaction, or the relationship, I should say. You know what she reminds me of? I gotta say, I have a friend who's in this kind of like dynamic. He is an older man of a particular financial status who has a penchant for, younger women of a non-particular social status, right? Or financial status, I should say. And so he gets into relationships with them, and they are true, real relationships, but it's low-key a sugar daddy relationship too at the same time, because, them bills is getting paid. So I think that it might be one of those where it's like, like a younger girl wants a serious relationship with a guy who's older, but not too old that he could be her grandpa or anything like that, who will just like cover her bills and whatnot. So I do think that there's a little bit of that going on there. But listen, for her sake, I hope that that's what it is, to be honest with you, because I think he's far too old for her. And I do not see it, for them as a couple, to be honest with you. I don't. And I'm with you, K baby. I totally am. Now, that's my question too. Is he a full-time artist, or is there something else that he's got going on? Is he's like selling, did he like strike it big on the Bitcoin? Guys, let me know what you think this guy's got going on, because I don't know. Is he a full-time artist? I saw the art he was doing during the show. It didn't look like full-time artist art. I'm just saying. But listen, stranger things have happened. Didn't a literal just plain banana duct taped to a wall, sell for millions of dollars? Strange world we're living in.